him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack 'em a gob, it's time for the only news that matters. And the first bass player for Metallica, Ron McGovney, he was in the band with Dave Mustaine. And even though Ron was no longer in the band when Dave was let go, he was still able to experience both the good and the bad times with him while he was part of the lineup. According to a recent post on social media, Ron was highly impressed by Mustaine's musical abilities during his time in Metallica. In one of his recent tweets, Ron wrote, "No Life Till Leather still is the best metal demo ever. Dave Mustaine just kills it on this tape. He leaves the rest of us in the dust. I'm just listening to it for the first time in 10 years, and wow." Ron wanted to clarify that while Mustaine was superior as a musician compared to them in the past, says that James and Lars were still exceptional as well. He later wrote, as a response to one fan, he said, "I'm not talking bad about James and Lars, or even me for that matter. Dave was just so far ahead of us as musicians at that point. You know, I have a huge amount of respect for James, Lars, and Dave for what they have accomplished in the music industry." Ron McGovney, the Pete Best of metal, huh? You know, Beatles became the biggest band, and then Metallica became the biggest metal band. And yeah, you could say Dave Mustaine is kind of a Pete Best too, but Dave Mustaine did very well for himself. I am a huge fan of the first two Megadeth albums. I love them. Yeah, I know many people love Rust in Peace. And all those albums are good. They're good. I ain't saying Rust in Peace is bad. Good album. But for me, it's all about Garth Samuelson and Chris Poland. You know, but what Dave Mustaine wrote during those times, man, was insanely awesome. Because he was on a mission. His mission was to, you know, to kill Metallica. And, you know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and this came up. This whole thing about Mustaine now. Look, I'm not one to believe in all this hocus pocus mumbo jumbo, you know, but Dave Mustaine does. And Dave Mustaine told the story of how he wanted this girl so bad. And he did some, you know, some voodoo, whatever the hell he did. And he ended up in bed with that girl. Then some other guy wished something bad, and that guy got in a car accident. So he did spells on people. Now, and I have to stress, I don't believe in this, but just would you think for this for a second? He is no secret hated Metallica for firing him. I mean, his whole goal was to start a band that will bury Metallica. Don't you think he would have put a spell on them too? You know, think about it. What if he did? Hypothetically. What if Dave Mustaine, because he would never admit to this, put a spell on Metallica and Cliff died? Not saying it's possible, okay? I mean, if you believe in that black magic spell stuff, that's cool and all that. That's your thing. I don't believe in it. But, hey, Dave believed in it. What makes you think that he didn't put a spell on Metallica? If he was throwing around spells to other people, Metallica, I think, pissed him off than anybody else. It's food for thought. Munch on that. And yes, it's painfully obvious that Dave Mustaine was much more talented musician than Lars and James, and I guess Ron McGovney as well, because listen to those first two Megadeth albums. Metallica can never play like that. I mean, to precision of Gar Samuelson. The insane playing of Chris Poland, who was better than Mustaine, and Mustaine is awesome. You know what I mean? So his songwriting, of course, is miles above Metallica technically. You know, but Metallica had the songs. It didn't matter how technical they were. Those songs made Metallica what they are today. And Megadeth is more of it's a metalhead thing, in my opinion. Metallica, you know, with the Black Album became mainstream, and a lot of people that got into the Black Album went back, and they ended up liking, you know, Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets, Justice for All and stuff. And where Megadeth were, I don't know, when they went all, you know, Black Album with Countdown Extinction and Euthanasia and stuff like that, both albums had songs I liked. But it was, in my opinion, disingenuous. Because Megadeth was a well-oiled machine. They did really well with Rust in Peace. Megadeth was like rising, you know? Killing, didn't do that much, but Peace Sells like really put them on the map. So far, so good. So what? Kept momentum going, and then Rust in Peace came out, and forget it. That's when it cemented Megadeth is a force to be reckoned with. And then Countdown came out, and the buzz was huge. Countdown Extinction debuted at number 2 on the charts. That is huge. But, you know, as time gone by, you know, Countdown didn't really do as good as it was supposed to do, I don't think. It was successful, but it was no Black Album, you know? And I also think the second single was horrible. Foreclosure of a Dream. Horrible single. I don't know what they were thinking. That's what killed the momentum. Symphony of Destruction did well, but I think the second single should have been Sweating Bullets. It was a single later, but I think Foreclosure of a Dream just fucked things up. And then Euthanasia did worse. And, you know, and then Cryptic Writings. They didn't really recover. That's why they did Risk. You know, because they're like, fuck, man, none of this shit's working. Let's do Risk. And that was terrible. You know, but people like it out there. I get it, you know, I'm just saying. To me, man, Megadeth was Gar Samuelson, Chris Poland, Dave Mustaine, and David Ellefson. Now, I've seen for years and years and years, people make like a mock of Kill 'Em All and put it says Dave Mustaine wrote 'em all. Well, no, there's 10 songs on this album, and he co-wrote 4 of them. He had nothing to do with Hit the Lights. He had nothing to do with my favorite song off the album, Motor Breath. He had nothing to do with, obviously Pulling Teeth. Whiplash had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with No Remorse. Had nothing to do with Seek and Destroy, the biggest hit on it. What he did help write on the album is the 4 Horsemen, that was Mechanics, Jump in the Fire, Phantom Lord, and Metal Militia. So, that's not writing them all. Wrote them all is what a lot of people think, because a lot of people want to put Dave Mustaine as, the person that, made Metallica. And then also on Ride the Lightning, he got credit on the song Ride the Lightning and the Call of Cthulhu. He got 2 song credits on that, and then he didn't get no more song credits, but a lot of people, I believe he said this, or I've heard other people say it, that he had a lot to do with Leper Messiah. I don't know. To me, jury's out on that, but to me, it looks like the majority of the songs were written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich, including the songs that Mustaine wrote. Hetfield and Lars were part of that writing team as well, so it's Hetfield and Lars who wrote them all. But anyway, that's the only news that matters. Leave your comments below what you feel about this whole thing. I know there's many Megadeth fans that can't stand Metallica and say that everything Megadeth did is better than Metallica. Leave your comments below, man. Everybody's comments are welcome. And please subscribe to my channel and ring that little notification bell if you haven't subscribed yet. And if you are subscribed, please check to see if you're still subscribed, because people are getting unsubscribed and that sucks. And like the video, because it's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.